Live from downtown Detroit, home of WDIV and Click on Detroit, Local 4 News at 6 starts now.
Law enforcement leaders are sharing their thoughts on Representative Rashida Tlaib's tweet calling for no more policing.
COVID cases and hospitalizations are near their worst levels, highest that we've seen in the state, but that hasn't brought the same shutdowns or restrictions. Michigan's governor is explaining why. And coronavirus, again, tops our news tonight at 6 as Governor Whitmer announces a new focus in fighting the surge.
And the Johnson & Johnson vaccine pause will continue. We've just learned the CDC's Advisory Committee on Immunization Practices wants more time and information before making a decision on the Johnson & Johnson vaccine. Meanwhile, Governor Whitmer is expanding the use of antibody treatments for COVID patients by sending more treatments to hospitals and care providers. Today, the state reports 7,955 new cases and 35 additional deaths.
Governor sticking to her guns, not closing the state down as she did last year and a year ago and last fall.
Instead, she's counting on well-known but little-used therapies and voluntary actions. She gave us more detail about what she's thinking in a press conference this afternoon. Local 4's Rod Maloney is live with one of the areas she says is simply not safe. Rod.
Yeah, it's the restaurants. Now, she has long said that restaurants are the problem here in the state of Michigan and had them closed down for quite some time. In the meantime, though, Governor Mike Duggan doesn't agree with her. He said this afternoon that he doesn't think that restaurants are the problem, and it's small gatherings. And so right now, the governor is the one that has the momentum here in terms of her press conferences and talking about what it is that she wants to do. And she's essentially saying, stay out of the inside of a restaurant.
My personal recommendation is don't eat inside of a restaurant. You know, give your favorite restaurant your business. Sit in the outdoor area or get takeout and take it home or go to a park and enjoy this beautiful spring weather that we're having. But at this juncture, these are the most crucial things that we can do to bring down the high rate of community spread that we're seeing.
And that came after Janae Caldoun was even more emphatic about staying away from restaurants.
Anytime you're going to be around someone outside of your household, large gatherings are riskier, particularly if it is indoors and people are not distanced apart appropriately. Sitting in an indoor space like a restaurant where there's less ventilation and people are talking with their mask off is simply not a safe thing to do right now.
One of the most puzzling things about this new COVID surge is the question, why Michigan? Why now? And the governor said it's because people are tired and not heeding the state's tough safety protocols.
We have variants that are very present here in Michigan in greater numbers than other states are seeing. We have reservoirs of people who didn't get COVID, thankfully, but are now vulnerable to these variants.
And so one of the things that she's also adding is the whole notion of using remdesivir and that kind of therapy that is actually fairly difficult to come by and needs to be dealt with in the early stages of COVID. But she's encouraging people who may be eligible, people particularly with the symptoms or things like diabetes and being senior citizens or being overweight, that you may be eligible. And she suggests that if you are going to be exposed, that is one way to make this curve go away. Reporting live in West Bloomfield, Rod Maloney.
Okay, Rod, we appreciate it. Meanwhile, absent from the governor's briefing today was the director of the Michigan Health Department, Elizabeth Hertel, who's recently drawn criticism for traveling to Alabama without being fully vaccinated. The governor was asked today whether that sends the wrong message, and here's what she had to say.
There have never been travel restrictions in Michigan. There just haven't been. What we have done is to ask people to be smart, to get vaccinated, to mask up. That is the key to traveling with confidence that you're going to be safe and not expose yourself or your loved ones to COVID or your community to COVID. So what directors do on their personal time is their business, so long as they are safe, which is what we're asking everyone in the state to do.
The governor's chief operating officer also recently faced criticism over a spring break trip to Florida after the health department advised against spring break travel.
Mayor Duggan says Detroit's vaccination rate is just too low. 18 of the 22 Detroiters who died from COVID this month were eligible for the vaccine before they died, and the mayor says Detroiters have to do better.
The racial health care gap in this country has existed largely because black people could not get access to health care. we have an interesting situation. African Americans in Detroit can get your Moderna and Pfizer test tomorrow with one phone call. And people in the suburbs have to stand in line in the rain for 3 hours. At the city level, we have done what we can do to increase the access. And what we have to do now as a community is to convince our neighbors who aren't taking advantage of that they're putting their lives at risk.
Detroit's Health Director Denise Fair is going to join Rhonda and Evrod live tomorrow morning at 6:30 a.m. on Local 4 News Today. Director Fair will answer questions about the vaccines and the city's outreach plans to try to get more shots into Detroit arms. That's tomorrow morning at 6:30.
The White House COVID response team says it is working with states to minimize any impact of the Johnson & Johnson pause. At today's briefing, the team sought to reassure Americans about the overall safety of the vaccines and the system in place to monitor them. Our Dr. Frank McGeorge is here with a closer look. Doc.
Yeah, Kim. So the COVID response team says the pause will not slow the vaccination efforts across the country as appointments are now being shifted from Johnson & Johnson to Pfizer or Moderna. The U.S. ordered a surplus of shots, and extra doses will be put to use.
I want to be clear that we have more than enough Pfizer and Moderna vaccine supply to continue or even accelerate the current pace of vaccinations.
CDC Director Rochelle Walensky tried to reassure those who already received the Johnson & Johnson vaccine.
For people who have received the vaccine more than a month ago, the risk of a blood clot is exceptionally low. For people who received the vaccine, meaning within the last few weeks, they should be aware of their symptoms and immediately seek medical assistance with any symptoms of concern.
As for concerns the J&J pause will increase overall vaccine hesitancy, Dr. Anthony Fauci urged Americans to take a different view, that the system in place can detect a 1 in a million safety issue, and those rare reactions will be investigated.
It should reinforce in those individuals how we take safety so seriously. So as opposed to looking this as a negative safety issue, it could be looked at as a positive issue where they know that when we let a vaccine be available and give it a go-ahead to be put into the arms of the American people, we do it with a considerable degree of confidence as to its safety.
Now, I totally understand that many people want a 100% guarantee that the vaccines are 100% safe. But the reality is any drug or vaccine can have rare side effects. And you don't find those 1 in a million problems until you give it to millions of people. Overall, the vaccines are proving to be incredibly safe. And remember, we are using them to fight a virus that has already killed more than 563,000 Americans.
Yeah,
back to you.
Certainly a very, very important perspective to remember. We appreciate it, Doc. And be sure to join us tonight at 8 p.m. for our live primetime special on the vaccines. Dr. McGeorge will be working overtime answering your questions about getting vaccinated and speaking with Dr. Anthony Fauci about Michigan's surge in cases. Plus, a leading expert talks about children and the vaccines. That's tonight, live at 8 p.m. right here on Local 4.
No real positive way to spin this next item. We may see some snowflakes tomorrow, Kim.
Yeah, okay, but they probably won't be here for long, right, Ben?
That is true. That is correct, Kim. We're going to see it for probably just a few hours at the onset here, but unfortunately it is going to be during the morning commute. And there it sits. Those are the snow showers there rotating through the northern part of lower Michigan. Gradually, this entire plume of moisture is going to make it down here. And we will be seeing snowflakes as we head to work and school tomorrow morning. And you can see out in Ann Arbor, the clouds are there. We may actually see these clouds break tonight, but really the only effect that's going to be is hastening our cool down as we get overnight. Temperatures already in the 40s in the west and north zone. And we are headed to the 30s tonight. In fact, there will be some spots below freezing. We will check that in your 4-zone forecast. So besides those few flakes, we've got rain chances for the next 4 days, and it feels more like March than it does mid-April. So we've kind of been all over the map. We'll see if we can Goldilocks this thing together in the 7-day forecast ahead. Guys?
All right, Ben. Second-degree manslaughter charges today against Kim Potter, the former Minnesota police officer who says she mistook her gun for a taser when she accidentally shot and killed a black man after a traffic stop. Charges come a day after Congresswoman Rashida Tlaib made it clear she doesn't think it was an accident. Taking to Twitter, Tlaib called policing inherently and intentionally racist, her quote, and called for no more policing, saying it can't be reformed. Well, that's led to pushback from several police departments. Larry Spruill, live at Detroit Police Headquarters. Chief Craig had some strong words about what Congresswoman Tlaib had to say, Larry.
Yeah, Devin, both Police Chief James Craig and Commissioner Bill Dwyer did not hold anything back tonight. They say that the Congresswoman is causing more division than anything. Take a listen.
Reckless. Her comments are reckless, and they're disgusting.
Detroit Police Chief James Craig is sounding off against the latest tweet from Congresswoman Rashida Tlaib.
It's not reflective of every law enforcement agency. It's not reflective of every man and woman who serves in this capacity.
The Congresswoman posted this on her Twitter account April 12th in response to the shooting death of Daunte Wright. She tweeted, "It was not an accident. Policing in our country is inherently and intentionally racist." She ended the tweet with "No more policing. Incarceration. It cannot be reformed." That tweet instantly went viral. Chief Craig says that's what she wanted.
What I'm clear about, it's self-serving. She wants attention. She got some attention.
I reached out to Congresswoman Tlaib Wednesday. She declined my interview, but her office sent me this statement instead, saying in part, Congresswoman Rashida Tlaib was talking about the fact that we continue to see death after death at the hands of police officers with no meaningful accountability for the officers or departments involved. We have seen countless millions of dollars pumped into police training and half measures, only to see the recent killing of Daunte Wright. Warren Police Commissioner Bill Dwyer called her tweet irresponsible.
Her remarks, first of all, are not true. They're irresponsible. They're disturbing. And they're, quite frankly, very disgusting to the men and women in blue.
He also wants to ask her a series of questions.
Who's going to respond to, finding your missing children? Who's going to respond to helping your parents or your husband or your wife? Who's going to be responsible for arresting the people responsible for the crimes?
Now the representative continued her statement about defunding the police, and it says, in part, Representative Tlaib understands that many in our communities are concerned about public safety, but feels that more investment in police, incarceration, and criminalization will not deliver that safety. Instead, as she has long advocated for, she believes that we should be investing more resources into our community to tackle poverty, education inequities, and to increase job opportunities. We're live at police headquarters in downtown Detroit tonight. Larry Spruill, Local 4.
All right, Larry. Ford workers at one local plant getting another 2 weeks of downtime that they really didn't ask for.
We'll have that coming up, and here's Victor Williams.
Dramatic cell phone video shows the moments two Good Samaritans sprang into action to save someone trapped in a vehicle. Hear from them coming right up.